Hello and welcome to Fusion 2020. We're really excited to be here with everybody today. We're live in our studio because unfortunately we can't have you here on campus because of COVID and everything, but we really hope that today is informational and will help get you guys kicked off and ready for our 2020 school year. One thing that I did want to mention, or two things actually, is one about our webpage. I know many of you guys have been on and off it throughout this summer, but puc.edu/fusion is where you're going to find all the good information. And we'll have a slide here up on the screen with that information for you as well. And it'll also have all the links for everything that we're going to be doing throughout our next 3 days together as we go through orientation virtually. Secondly, there is a telephone number. And we'll display that again here on the screen. Jeremy will flip my slide for me. But that phone number is 707-709-6117. If you have any questions or anything at all during Fusion, during our orientation, just text that number or call. We'll pick up, we'll answer, we'll help you, and we'll walk you through it. I do want to bring on a very special guest to give you a warm welcome to PUC, and that is our president, Dr. Bob Cushman.
As stem cell research, abortion, gender equality, human sexuality, mental health, human behavior, the origin of life, and the end of life. These are questions and issues that some of you will be living and working with on a daily basis in your professions and workplace, and maybe even in your churches. Imagine a place where you could consider these questions in a Christian context, where Christ is uplifted in your study and conversations. Imagine a place that would nudge you out of your comfort zone in ways that can encourage you to grow in knowledge and wisdom and in a relationship with God. Imagine a place like Pacific Union College, where over the coming weeks, months, and years, you will have an opportunity to interact with classmates, professors, and staff in conversations about some of life's larger questions. Here at Pacific Union College, we are committed to fostering an environment that promotes the intellectual, spiritual, physical, and emotional well-being of our students, faculty, and staff. Embedded in our mission statement are the three commitments. Let me share them with you. As faculty, staff, and administration at Pacific Union College, we are committed to sustaining a Seventh-day Adventist learning community, offering an exceptional Christ-centered education, and preparing students for lives of commitment in humanitarian service and uncompromising personal integrity. I'm confident that your education here at PUC will transform your life. I believe it will because a similar experience transformed mine. It was in instruction and interactions in and out of the classroom with thoughtful, caring Christian professors and classmates that started me on the lifelong journey that continues today. It was those professors whose ideas and assignments pushed me out of my comfort zone to grow and mature intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally that changed my life. Who you are today is not who you will be when you leave here. You will be changed, and you will have developed the skills and ideas to change your corner of the world. As we begin the school year, I want to alert you to some research that informs how we support you in this journey. As we look at the research on students at colleges and universities around the country, several characteristics rise to the surface. Students who do not succeed in college often share three behaviors. The most common behavior is that they don't attend class. And similar to that, the second behavior is that they don't complete and turn in their assignments and homework. And finally, they fail to make meaningful connections with other people. Please know that we are here to support you in your journey and wish to connect with you often. We are thrilled that you are here. Here at PUC, we learn with purpose, rise in faith, and serve with love. Welcome to Pacific Union College.
Thank you, Dr. Cushman. We appreciate you being here, being our president. We're really excited to have another school year with you here this year. I want to introduce to you a very well-known figure on our campus because she is actually our historian of PUC. She comes out with some amazing little tidbits every so often of things she's dug up in the archives. And we have her here today to give you a little bit of a PUC history lesson. So we're going to have Professor Katie Van Arsdale come and give you a little bit of PUC history.
Good morning. Set that there. All right, so this is awesome. I get to give you a 5-minute overview of PUC history. I'm going to try and cram hundreds of years all in 5 minutes, so stay with me. All right, so PUC started in 1882, and when we were established, it was by a group of people, Seventh-day Adventists, who lived in California, and they looked around and they saw there were only about a dozen colleges in all of California, and none of them were Adventist. There was only one Adventist college, and it was in Michigan. So you can imagine that's kind of a problem in 1882. You're going to have to cross serious numbers of mountains if you want to go to an Adventist college. And the reason why these people considered it important to go to an Adventist school is because of the principles of Seventh-day Adventist education. And these are things that are going to sound very familiar to you because it's the way we still do school at PUC today. So the principles of Seventh-day Adventist education that they really wanted their students to get at college were the idea that you would study and you would have time to exercise, go outside, you could eat healthy food, you could study things that were practical, you could have a job and it would work with your school studies. And this doesn't sound that crazy now, but in the 1880s, college was very different. It was often long days spent hunched over a desk. You might strain your eyes in the dark because you'd be studying by candlelight. And the things you were studying, sometimes you were learning Greek or Latin. There was a lot of memorization, things that were not so practical once you got out into the world and tried to work. So these Adventists decided, let's start a school here in California so that we can have this fully rounded experience that we think is a better use of our time, and it's going to make us better people in the world. So let me show you some more pictures. I've got a picture that's going to come up on the screen. It's of our school in Healdsburg. You may be wondering, where is Healdsburg if you're not from this area? It's just a little town that's a few miles west of here. And I'll explain why we're not there anymore. But when we started out, we just had 2 buildings. So the one that you can see here is the school building where everybody took all of their classes. And this was kind of interesting because when we started the very first few years at Healdsburg, our school had people from ages high school through adults of any age, people who wanted to go back to school. So you were all studying together across different ages, and you didn't have necessarily very divided majors. So a lot of people would be taking the same classes. Most people were studying to be a minister or a missionary or a teacher. Those were the most popular things. So you can kind of imagine you might have someone 16 sitting right next to someone who's 60, and you're all studying together in one building. So in this picture here, you can see the second building that PUC had when we were in Healdsburg, and it was the dorm. So that's something that's very familiar. We have dorms even now, but there was only one in Healdsburg, and the guys had one floor and the girls had another, and they were never allowed to interact, obviously. You had to stay on your floor, you'd be in big trouble. But what was more important was the research and the study and the learning that people were doing. And they were following those principles of a well-rounded person. So I included some pictures here to kind of show you how even in Healdsburg, we were doing that practical education. So you can see one of the sewing classes. There's a bunch of girls sitting outside, so they're getting that fresh air. They're learning something practical. They're probably going to school to be teachers or to be missionaries, but they're learning a practical skill that you just need it for life. And they were so creative that I included a picture of the thing they invented. So these PUC students, these women who went to Healdsburg College, which was our previous name, the roads weren't paved in the late 1800s. You're not surprised by that. So when it would rain in the winter, their skirts would get soaked and just filled with mud, and it was horrible. So they invented this skirt that you could just pull a string and it would lift a few inches off the ground so that they could be comfortable in the winter and not drag mud into the one building where they lived and the one building where they went to school. So that's that creativity, and that's what they were going for when they wanted to have this school. So you may be asking yourself, okay, you said Healdsburg College, you said Healdsburg a lot, none of that's us anymore. What happened? Well, let me show you the next picture. So in 1909, we moved from Healdsburg to Angwin, where we are now, on the top of a mountain, surrounded by forests. There are springs everywhere filled with fresh water. Even in the worst of California's droughts, we've never run low on water. Our springs continue to run. And we found this beautiful place because people prayed, because the town of Healdsburg started to grow up around the college. And you remember this whole purpose of this school is so that you can get outside into nature, you can do practical work in addition to learning intellectual things. And this really was becoming difficult in Healdsburg. There were just too many people and there was no space to expand. So we moved to Angwin. And the cool thing about Angwin is that this was the location of a health resort that had been established in the 1870s. And it was already built up. There was a farm, there were cabins, there was a beautiful resort hotel. And so we were able to just walk right on campus and start school in a beautiful resort location where we still are today. So let me show you a picture from a little bit later in PUC's history. Obviously, a lot has changed. In this picture, this is the 1970s. We just put in the fountain in the center of the mall, and a lot of things changed during these decades. You're not surprised, neither am I. Majors came and went, like secretarial science and home ec. You know, these things that you needed to study, you needed to have that major. The world changed, the major goes. We have something new that comes up. And just the campus itself built up, obviously, started to look like the place that we know and love today, the place where we will all be together again soon. So some things changed, yes, but some things stayed the same. So I'll show you the next picture. And these are a lot of pictures, actually. And they're from this whole period that I'm talking about, from 1909 to, I'd say the 1970s again here in these pictures. But what I wanted to show you is that PUC students were doing the same things. They were getting outside into nature, going to hikes in the back 40, going on field trips to do actual field research, going to Albion, which is where you can see those guys digging around in a tide pool. We still get to go to Albion today. And there were, of course, hundreds and hundreds of picnics and fall fests and fairs and parties and times to be together and be a community. This was always a priority at PUC, and it still is today. You can see it in the pictures from our past. So I'll show you one last picture. So here's a picture of a student running a race in the 70s, a student running a race a couple years ago. My point I'm trying to make is no matter where we are right now, the principles of what made PUC be established, those are the reasons we're still here today. And so I know that you can still go outside, go for a walk. We want to make sure you have practical skills. That's what your classes are all about. Things are the same as they always were, even though they're very different, because you're a PUC pioneer, and that's what we've always been. So thanks for letting me talk to you about PUC history today.
Thank you, Katie, and thank you so much for your quick 5-minute history. We know there was a lot to pack in, but we really appreciate the time and hope that you learned a few little nuggets about your college up here on the mountain. Our next little section here is actually student-based, and it's our student association. We really want to take a minute to introduce you to our SA officers, and they've got a little video for you to watch.
Student Association of 2020-21, Louis Govea, Eileen Kurtz, Adam Adraveno, Miriam Yu, Sebastian Anderson, Grace Jong and Karen Castro. They'll get the job done.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PUC family. My name is Luis Govea. I'm the Student Association President, and this is my essay team.
Hello, I'm Adam Adraveno, and I'm the essay video producer.
Hi guys, my name is Aileen Kurtz and I'm the Executive Vice President.
Hi, I'm Miriam and I'm the Financial Vice President.
Hey, my name is Grace Jong and I'm the Social Vice President.
We are missing two officers. They're not here on campus with us. It's Sebastian Anderson, our Vice President of PR and Marketing, and Karen, our Religious Vice President. We are the Student Association. I know I said my essay team at the beginning, but this is really your essay team. We do things like we create social events on campus, spiritual events. It's all going to be virtual now, but we do those types of things. We push out content online, and we also make sure that, your campus life experience is, up to par. It's what you want it to be. And we're super excited to be here serving you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope to meet you all soon.
Let's talk about how to thrive in college. And this is from an academic perspective. And again, hello, I'm Milbert Mariano, your academic dean. And I want to be the first to welcome you, class of 2024, to your excellent academic experience here at PUC. While this fall may not look like any other fall we've had before, we are still PUC and our excellence will shine through. Even if many of you are learning remotely, either on or off campus, our faculty are at the core of what makes PUC so special. So before you attend any of your classes, before you meet with any of your advisors, I get to be the one to tell you hello and welcome to PUC. And welcome to fall 2020 from all your professors. And we're glad you have chosen to be a part of PUC's family. So if you're just joining us, let's pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for PUC. I thank you so much for all the students that are here and learning, whether it's online and some on campus. We thank you for them. We ask that you be with us and give us the best experience that we can have. Help us to find a true relationship with you here at PUC. And as we grow in you and as we commune with each other, we thank you for your presence. And we thank you for PUC. We love you. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so I want to talk about how you can thrive in college. So as your academic dean, I'm very interested in making sure that each and every one of you not only survives college, but thrives in it as well and in life. So the first thing I'm going to do is ask you to close your eyes for 20 seconds. So go ahead and do that. Okay, what you're going to do is think of a memory, one of the best moments of your life, whether it's eating a great meal, whether it's on a beach, anything. What is the best moment of your life that you can think of? So for 20 seconds, close your eyes and think about what you can see. What do you hear? What do you smell? But most importantly, how does that make you feel? I know exactly where I'm at. So 20 seconds. Okay, you can open your eyes and we are going to look at that later. We're going to use that a little bit later, but remember that memory. Always keep that memory. So part of what we're going to be doing now is talking about college. You're at college now, a place of opportunity. And for most of you, this is not what you had anticipated your college experience would be like. There's a swirl of mixed emotions. Excitement, relief, anxiety. You're wondering if you'll be able to thrive in your new surroundings, with new friends, communities, even cultures, and learning environments. What will you do? And how will you do this? So with proper preparation, there won't be much to worry about. So let's start with the end in mind, success. Success. There's a popular belief that one of the keys to happiness is to be successful in school and all your endeavors. But I want to smash and challenge that belief. Good grades and success don't bring happiness. Happiness can bring good grades and success. Whatever field you hope to thrive in, whether it's business, communication, the arts, nursing, theology, kinesiology, healthcare, happiness and a positive mindset will increase your chances of success. So get happy. In 1997, an experiment at Cornell University had 3 groups of doctors diagnose a case. So to lift their spirits, the first group was shown a bag of treats that they could indulge in later. The second group was reminded of how medicine was a humanitarian pursuit. And the third group was given no encouragement whatsoever. So both of the groups that had received positive encouragement performed better, diagnosing the case 20% faster and more precisely than the group that received no positive priming. This illustrates how positive emotions can help you to perform better. So remember, let happiness into your life and move forward with positivity in your mind. This is one of the keys to success. So let's talk about stress. What do you do when you're stressed in college? Let's face it, college can be stressful. Pressures of trying to get good grades, pressures of being away from home or even at home for the first time during college, all during a pandemic and social unrest sound quite overwhelming, and that could lead to a lot of anxiety and stress. But what research has found is that friendships and socializing are keys to a healthy mind. A 2014 survey found that 150,000 freshmen revealed that they spend less time socializing than any other generation in the past decades. 39%, or close to 2 out of 5 freshmen, spent less than 5 hours with their friends. When I was a freshman here at PUC in 1987, it was half of that, at 18%, or close to 1 out of 5. So, during this time in college, whether you're face-to-face and when you get here, or whether you're online, fight against the urge to isolate yourself. One of the best ways to relieve stress and to help prevent future outbreaks of anxiety is to connect with friends and nurture your relationships. As it turns out, moments of increased stress are actually the best time to visit friends and to socialize. And we here at PUC are going to be able to do that, particularly during your fusion events. And so please take advantage of those fusion events to spend time with friends and to socialize. The next thing is don't seek approval. Seek development. You're here in college. So when it comes to learning and college, your papers, projects, and quizzes, as much work as you put into it, always find ways in which you can be better and grow. Avoid a fixed mindset. So you're going to be graded on things, right? Well, a fixed mindset would be when you're unwilling to change or accept critical feedback, or when you see it as approval of your own worth or even of you. Or when you think of to yourself, math, that's just not my gift. Or writing, that's just not my gift. Or public speaking, that's just not my gift. What you need to do is adopt a growth mindset, where critical feedback isn't seen as judging or criticism, but as a healthy path to growth. For some of you, this might be difficult, but you're in college now, so adopt a growth mindset. And the good news, anyone can adopt a growth mindset. With a growth mindset, working hard and training hard to ultimately realize your potential to the fullest, that's what it is. By confronting our own attitudes and ideas, we can develop a growth mindset. So when you're here at PUC, take every opportunity with your professors and with your classes to practice the growth mindset. Next, BNDF. What is BNDF? When you're active, your brain produces a protein called BNDF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So say that with me. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Everybody back there? Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BNDF. That protein interacts with the brain's frontal lobes, which are responsible for your ability to actually learn and grow. So things like jogging, biking, regular walks are helpful. You don't have to be a marathon runner or to stay actively healthy. Just a little bit of exercise every day will help. So a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So here's a bit of research. When Naperville Central High in Illinois found that their school ranked 18th in the world for math and 19th for science, they thought that was good. But the faculty thought that they could do better. And they did this by strengthening their physical education program. They made sure students spent less time sitting and more time moving and keeping their heart rates up. So after a year of this, when rankings came in, Naperville Central High was in 6th place for math and 1st in science. It made quite a difference. So get moving. And here at PUC, when you get here, or if you are here, there are over 30 miles of hiking and biking trails, which is so rare not only for any Adventist college or university, but for pretty much any college or university. We have a great intramural sports program, and in 2013, PUC's intramural sports program was voted the #1 in the nation by niche.com. So when you get here, there will be many opportunities for you to get your heart rate up and to increase your BNDF. But you'll want to start that where you are, safely and responsibly. So if you can, get out and take a walk, a jog, a bike ride, and integrate that into your studying and your activities there. Lastly, again, these are 5 things that you can do. The last thing is to connect with our Creator on a daily basis. So it goes without saying, prayer can be transformative. And while your mind here is being transformed, so should your spirit. They're all connected. That peace, the sense of meaning and connection, calming your cardiovascular system and reducing your stress. Dr. Crystal Park from the University of Connecticut says that's her quote. So those kinds of things have physiological effects on your body, such as calming your cardiovascular system and reducing your stress. So the last of the 5 things is to pray. Make sure you use that as part of your daily habits. So college Remember, college can be hard, it can be stressful, there can be anxiety, there can be conflict, but you now have the tools to overcome any of those obstacles. So those 5 things again: get happy, avoid isolating yourself, adopt a growth mindset, get moving, and pray. Those are the 5 things. And when the going gets tough, when you have that difficult test, when you've studied for and you're stressed out, you have a conflict with somebody either at home or with a roommate or a friend or anything that can bring you anxiety, stop, breathe, close your eyes for 20 to 30 seconds, and remember your favorite memory. Bring yourself there with all your senses, your sight, your sound, your smell, and how it makes you feel. Then you are now ready to face anything here in college. So what now? We will get started. We'll have a start on the academic program. We're going to come back tomorrow and talk to you a little bit more about preparing yourself for your classes online, and whether it's online or whether it's here. We'll talk more about working with your advisor. We'll talk more about your learning management system, Canvas, and just how to navigate this new college life. But the first thing I wanted to talk about academically was the academic program. So first of all, there are 2 important documents you should have the link to. First, your academic start guide, and that should be on the Fusion website. There's a link to it. You can see the academic start guide. So look for that. That is one important document that you should be reading, that you should look at, and that will help guide you through the next couple days. The second one is the PUC catalog, and it's the general catalog. Whether you know your major or not, this is going to be very important for you. So it's at puc.edu/catalog. And the catalog has all the policies for the college. It has all your majors and all the requirements for your majors. So take a look at the catalog and make sure that you read particularly your major, but also what all the requirements are for things like your general education package. And the academic start guide is almost like a cheat sheet on the general catalog and in starting college. So make sure that you read the academic start guide. And again, that one is linked to the Fusion website, or is that right? The Fusion website? Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the general catalog. It's a good idea to read through it very carefully. It covers PUC's academic policies and the requirements for your degree. And as a student, you're responsible for knowing what it contains. So it's available under, like I said, puc.edu/catalog. So what do you need to know about particularly your college degree and your GE? A lot of you, most of you, know your major, and if you don't, that's fine. You can still take what we call general education courses. So whether you know your major or not, you can get started, and you'll have a good start here at PUC, particularly your first quarter. But what does the GE mean? What is general education? So there are multiple majors, degrees, that we have here at PUC. We have an associate's degree or an AS degree. We also have the bachelor's degrees, and we have several of those. And that's the bulk of what people take here at PUC. We have a BA, or Bachelor of Arts. We have a Bachelor of Science, a BS. And then we have multiple professional degrees, the Bachelor of Business Administration, BBA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, the BFA, the Bachelor of Science and Nursing, the BSN, the Bachelor of Social Work, the BSW, and several master's degrees, one in teaching, business administration, and education. So those are the degrees, but I'm going to focus mainly on the bachelor's degrees because, again, that's the bulk of you. Many of you, if you're taking the AS program, there are still general education requirements that you would take. But going to the bachelor degrees and calculating that, and many people think of college as 4 years. And so we want you to be able to finish in 4 if you come here as a freshman and are taking the bachelor's degree. So how can you do that successfully? Well, number 1, complete an average of 16 credits per quarter. We have 3 quarters per year and 16 credits per quarter. That is one of the ways in which you can guarantee finishing in 4. The other thing is to meet regularly with your academic advisor. So they can help you plan ahead. And the other thing you should do along with that is follow what we call curriculum guide sheets. So if you go on our website and you go to the academics section, you look at all the different programs and, say you're a history major. You can click on history, you can see the curriculum guide sheets, and you can see what you're expected to take not only every year, but every quarter. But because things change once in a while, you need to work with your academic advisor to make sure that you get the classes that you need. So it's a combination of working with your academic advisor and also following the curriculum guide sheets. When I was here at PUC as a freshman, I saw all these classes and I didn't know which one to take. And I thought immediately, I wanted to take this one class because it looked like something that was wonderful. However, it was a senior level class. So luckily, I had a great academic advisor that taught me that you want to start with a good foundation. And so there are classes for you as freshmen that you use as your foundation. And then you build off of that. And then I got to that senior class and I was way more prepared for it than when I was a freshman. And so work with your advisor, look at the guide sheets, and that will help you with your success in finishing in 4. And so also know how to track your progress. We have wonderful tools online to track your progress. And so we will talk more about that tomorrow. The other thing is sometimes people realize when they're taking a class that it's not for them and it's just not what you need, particularly if it's something that may be too difficult. And we talked about the tools when things get difficult, so hopefully you can push through it and show some grit. But some people end up withdrawing from classes or dropping classes. So, and that is okay, but please minimize withdrawing from classes because know that it's going to affect you later. So again, we have the 3 things that I'm saying here. First of all, 16 credits a quarter, average, 3 quarters a year, or 12 quarters total, and for 4 years. And also remember, work with your advisor, check your guide sheets, and check your progress. So what is the GE? What is the bachelor's degree? Which at PUC requires a minimum of 192 quarter units, and that includes 60 upper division credits. That consists of 3 main parts. And this pie gives you an idea of a general idea of what those classes would be. Although the proportions may vary depending on the program you choose, you'll see that you have your major and cognates, all those courses that really connect with your major, that help you be in that profession that you're thinking of. Then there are GE courses, classes all students need to take that offer a well-rounded base for a liberal arts education. And then there are electives. And elective courses allow you to explore outside your major and possibly even develop a minor. And so what are those GE courses? So if you're coming to PUC and you know that you want to be in the honors program, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, the GE package looks a little bit different, but it is also what we call a general education package. This is here what a standard general education package looks like. There are also general education packages for professional programs. So think about that if you are doing a BBA or a BFA. And the Bachelor of Arts particularly has an 8th component, which particularly is a language requirement. So this is what a general education package looks like. It looks like we have 7 or 8, but did you know that back in the day, a liberal arts education consisted of 7 disciplines, 3 in which were called the trivium, where we get the word trivia, and 4 were from what was called the quadrivium. And the 3 in the trivium were grammar, logic, and rhetoric, and the 4 in the quadrivium were arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. Yes, that's what a liberal arts education was way back in the day. But it has changed and it looks very different now. Of course, we still want you to have grammar, logic, and some of those other things, but this is what the GE package looks like today, and that is on top of your major courses that you would be taking. So it's a core of group of classes all students are required to take, and the GE program here is wonderful, and it's created to provide students with, again, a well-rounded education involving things like art, music, religion, history, English, math, and sciences. All schools based in this tradition have those requirements, and most of them are transferable. So to see a full list of the GE course requirements at PUC, take a look at the first general part of the general catalog. And that general catalog again is puc.edu/catalog.